And we are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by the Keeg where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. For those of you who don't know, new comic books come out at your local comic shop every single Wednesday. Every Wednesday is New Comic Book Day, and we go live about 24 hours later every Thursday night. If you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, and you can see us live every Thursday night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, or maybe you're listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. No matter where you're watching us, listening to us, digesting us, like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review, let us know you're out there, hop in the chat like Ashwan231 Comics. Hopping in the chat on YouTube right now saying loads of awesome comics this week. Can't wait to see what you lot read and excited to read them myself. So that's Ash1231 Comics. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera. And, it's not just me talking about all the comics that are out this week. No. It's me and my two awesome guests. First up, you know him as Virgo Blade, or maybe you know him as Ethan. What's up, Ethan? How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing good. I feel like I read a lot of comics this week.
That's good. I know some weeks you're not as confident, so I'm glad to hear that you hit your goal.
Yeah, there's always stragglers, but I feel like I read a good amount, so I'm happy with that. And so here's a question for you: is between 1 and 10, that's I think how we grade it. Yeah, 1 to 10. How stacked was this comic week for you as a whole? As all the offerings, whack or stacked? I think is what I'm trying to brand it.
Right? Yeah. I'm gonna go with stacked, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but this is kind of what I was referring to before about how it's stacked, but because my expectations are so high, that the ones that I expect to do well when they don't really reach it, it's a bit underwhelming. Not to the point of depression, but to the point of it was good, could have been better, just because my expectations are high. But I would give it a stacked.
That's fair. 1 to 10 though, if 10 is super stacked and 1 is super whacked,
I'd say 8. Okay. I'd give it an 8. In terms of the actual quantity of stacked, probably 9, but in terms of my judgment of it, I'd give it about an 8. Still good, but high expectations.
That's fair. Okay, that's good. I'm very curious. Anyone out there watching right now, let us know how whacked or stacked this week was for comics for you. Also, second guest for today, the Film Field, aka Jack. What's up, Jack? Welcome back.
What's up? Not much going on. Excited to be back on, especially after a very fun Comic-Con a few weeks earlier. So yeah, excited to get into some comic books today.
It's funny because I was thinking back, when was the last Comic Talk you were on? And it was in June, so it wasn't far off, but we had just less shows in July, so you weren't on in July. But I still saw you in person, which was its own treat,
Right, absolutely. And you go right from doing that to going right back into comic books, which is always fun. And there was a lot that I actually liked this week. There wasn't a lot that I got to necessarily. There was more I wanted to get to all around, but the ones I did get to, I really, really enjoyed more than I typically would.
Regardless of what you got time to read, how between 1 and 10, how was this week for you?
Pretty stacked, I would say. Yeah, I would say pretty stacked. I would give it a nice 8.5-ish, somewhere around there. So pretty good all around. Even the ones I didn't get to, I'm oh, down the line when I do get to these, there's a lot of options. A lot of stuff came out this week that I'm at least interested in. And as a guy who doesn't always get into Marvel, there's stuff there that I looked at that I'm I might try to dive into these now that I'm looking at these.
You sent me your list, and I mean, we'll go over them, but I was very, I realized there's a good amount of Marvel that's worth hopping onto right now, very easy entry points, and we'll get to it, but let's go through I guess if I had to say whacked or stacked, 8.59. I think it was it might have been a 9er of a week, because I'm thinking about how I reacted to certain comics that came out this week, and I was Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can 100% see that. You could convince me to a 9, like 8.5. You're like right there. It's like the slightest bit of an argument could push me there, especially because some of these comics, like not even just stacked wise, but just like quality. I'm like, okay, like this is a pretty great comic book week, I would say.
Yeah, I was reading some of my comics when I was hosting trivia last night. Because sometimes I'll bring my comics and if I'm lucky, I get to like through like 2, maybe 3 comics because I'm reading it on my off time in between rounds as I host. And there were some that made me like audibly gasp. So I mean, we'll go over it. Your guys' reading list. Let's go over reading lists this week. Ethan, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I got Absolute Batman issue 23, Action Comics issue 1101, Firestorm issue 5, Supergirl issue 16, X-Men issue 35, X-Men United issue 6, Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 1, Infernal Hulk issue 10, and that's it.
I mean, that's a pretty stacked
and I'm
list.
proud that I got through everything that I wanted to. So okay. I'm proud of myself.
It's rare because we hold ourselves to such high standards. It's rare that we can feel good about the comics we read. But like I like to remind everybody that's on the show is that like if you read more than 0 comics in a week, you're reading more than most people. So
that's true.
You know,
that's a glass half full way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that we do this show and we feel like, oh, we got to read everything, which is kind of the premise of the show. Sure. But like, that's what we got each other for. So we're doing a zone defense, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Jack, what's on your list?
So I had Absolute Batman 23. I had Firestorm. I had Green Lantern Corps issue 19. And then I think it was Action Comics 1101, I think it was. And then I did not get to Aquaman. That was the last one I wanted to get to, but I did not get a chance to get to that one. But the other 4, that's what I was able to get to.
Okay. Yeah, again, good list. I'm very curious. I mean, I might as well ask this now. You read Action Comics 1101, which is part 2 of the Kingdom of Zod storyline, but you didn't read Supergirl 16, which is part 1. You didn't have to, not because it was bad or anything, but like the way they set it up, like Superman appears in Action Comics 1101 and he joins the fight there. So Supergirl 16 is kind of like a build up to his eventual return.
Yeah, that was a funny one for me because I think I had completely forgotten that was the order of the way they were doing things. I think in my head when I got it, I was like, oh, I think this is just the start of Kingdom of Zod, right? And but funny enough, reading through it, it didn't hinder too much of how I was picking up information, but it did make me want to go and read the Supergirl issue, which is always nice, you know?
Yeah, and it really is what's cool about this Kingdom of Zod thing. I mean, we'll get into it, but like, they're different writers for each of their respective series chapter, right? So Sophie Campbell is writing the Supergirl 16, but Action Comics 1101 was that. I have it here. I forget who's writing Action. Is it Mark Waid? Or did he step off of it? Because he started off.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's Waid. It's Mark Waid.
It is Mark Waid on Action?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's still on it. So, and it's like they're writing each other's characters because it's a big old team up book. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. All right. So Ashwan231 Comics out there says for him, definitely a 9. So 9 out of 10.
Very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is my rundown. Absolute Batman 23, Supergirl 16, Action Comics 1101, Miles Morales Spider-Man 1, X-Men 35, Green Lantern Corps issue 19, Barbara Gordon Breakout number 4, Batman and Robin Year 1 Dynamic Duos number 1, Wolverine 25, Venom 260, Jeff the Landshark Superstar number 2, and then the Twilight Zone issue 10 by IDW.
It's a good haul.
Oh, wait, and I forgot. I didn't prep the picture for this one. Exquisite Corpses, Rascal Randy, issue number 2.
Good haul there. Good haul.
Good list.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like good. I read a couple pages into Emperor Aquaman, but I didn't get to finish.
Yeah, I got like a little bit through there, but I didn't get to it. But to be fair, I didn't read as much as you did, so my excuse isn't as good. But still,
it's okay. Again, I really split up my time better. I like planned my time a little bit better this week. So that's a me thing. That's not a you thing. Don't worry.
Anyway, you can build a schedule. My main priority was I knew I wanted to get to Firestorm and Absolute Batman. So no matter what, I was like, I have to find time for those two.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, I don't want to ask this before we talk about our picks of the week. But Ethan, do you want to do your pick of the week first?
Yeah, I'll do my pick of the week. Because I think I surprised myself. This might be the biggest surprise for me on this show of all time.
Okay.
So it's going to be Fury of Firestorm issue 5. This was a dark horse, not the publisher, but in terms of like, it wasn't on my top 3. But once again, it's like my expectations were very high. Not that the comics were bad or anything, but because of my very specific expectations, I felt some type of way. You know, I'm sure we're going to get into Absolute Batman, which was an amazing read. But the Tim Drake of it all. He is my favorite character. So yes, I can appreciate the story. And obviously this is the Absolute universe, so we don't know him that well.
You're talking more about Absolute Batman than you are your pick of the week. Right.
Well, I have to tell you why I chose it.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Look, I am a Tim Drake purist. I love Tim Drake.
Yes.
No matter what universe. I don't care that we barely know anything about him.
Yeah.
I don't care. I love him. I'm about pushing the Tim Drake brand. So, yes, it was a great issue, but I feel like as president of Tim Drake Nation, I can't make it my pick of the week.
Right.
So I'm going to go with Fury of Firestorm. I think because not that it surprised me the most. I think the series has surprised me because I went into it a bit skeptical. Not because of any specific reason. You just don't know sometimes. But I feel like how is doing the like sci-fi mystery, the cosmic nature of Firestorm, I'm like loving the like essence surrounding who this Firestorm entity is. Where's Ronnie Raymond? And then this one with the whole like flashback sequence of him going to like the Justice League watchtower and Ronnie Raymond being introduced to in Shy, and also how Lorraine is trying to connect to Ronnie and the like bombshell of Martin Stein at the end. Like that's what I live for. And I'm sure some people will not be happy with it, but there are good tropes and there are bad tropes. And to me, it's like, if it is done well, then I'm on board with it. And I feel like how the story has been constructed in like Martin Stein and the whole like mad scientist angle of it. Mm-hmm. I love that as well. So yeah, there was revelations, amazing artwork. Firestorm is to me one of the most underutilized characters because he really should be one of the strongest beings in the entire DCU. Like if he can manipulate, transmute matter, that is Dr. Manhattan levels of power.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's been underserved, underused. And so this series has been really elevating it in terms of like the story and also his prominence in the DCU. And this issue specifically, I think, has been the best one so far. So that is why it is my pick of the week. See, I got there.
You got there.
Yeah.
I didn't read this one because I'm a little bit behind on it. But Jack, did you read this one?
So this is what I want to say. Before we started, we were talking about picks of the week and stuff. I was telling you that my pick of the week is Absolute Batman, but I said I'm willing to not make it my pick if someone else wants to pick it. because I had another option that I really was going to choose, and that was going to be Fury of Firestorm. So when you said that,
taste.
Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. And so it was between those two for me, and I picked Absolute Batman, but I so easily could have picked like Firestorm.
Mm-hmm.
Like Firestorm for me is like one of my favorite characters easily. Like my favorites are like Batman, Dr. Fate, Captain Atom, Firestorm, like all those kind of core characters to me. And Firestorm has easily been one of the most underutilized characters for the past couple of years. And so when this started, like I've always loved Lemire as a writer. Like when this whole thing started, I was like, oh, okay. Like I don't know what the pitch of this is exactly going to be, but like any new Firestorm stuff, I'll easily take no matter what. And so far, it's been so incredible. So Batman's my pick, but obviously we'll get into Firestorm. But I have so much to say about Firestorm. I thought this was such an amazing issue.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad that I'm behind on this, but like I struggled to read as much as I could this week. But I knew that like I'm 3 issues behind on this. I can't catch up to this one. You know.
When you do get around to it, you'll like it, I think.
Yeah, you will.
I read the first 2 issues, right? So, like, what's this, 5? So, I would have had to read 3, 4, and 5 to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, okay. Maybe not this week, but I'll try to catch up for next month.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Absolute. I was about to say Absolute Firestorm. Fury of Firestorm.
Yeah.
Fury of Firestorm issue 5.
Fury of Firestorm.
Wait, is Firestorm coming to Absolute at all?
Yes, actually. To Absolute Flash, which makes sense because it's Lemire again. So he said Absolute Atom, which we know now is coming, and then obviously Absolute Cyborg, and then he said Absolute Firestorm, which we don't know what that's going to look like or anything like that, but he said that that's who's coming up, which I'm very, very excited for because clearly Lemire cares about Firestorm and is doing a great job with it. So unbelievably excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it too. I mean, we'll just go straight into it.
Sure.
This one's a big one, but restate the question in your answer. Jack, what was your wait, sorry, I'm prepping this. Yeah, there we go. Jack, what was your pick of the week this week?
Pick of the week was Absolute Batman number 23, which was, I don't know if we want to get like just straight into that one.
We got to jump in. We got to hit
this.
Let's
do it. Yeah. I mean, wow. I mean, yeah. Tim Drake's dead. Very sad, which was interesting because, the build up to this was like all the different variant covers was Clayface, right? And I was like, all right, interesting way they're playing out with Clayface here. I wonder how they're going to bite with that. And for so much of the issue, it was really good. It was like kind of a slower burn issue, but it was done so well. Just Bruce's paranoia and freaking out on everybody was so great. And then just a bit like the way, like we haven't gotten a lot of the Robins, but the little bits we do get is really, really good. And so whenever on screen, whenever it's them like going to Gordon's funeral or it's them all talking about like the polls and their ratings and all that kind of stuff, it's always nice, a little bit of a slice of life stuff with them, but we don't get too much. And so I was curious where they were going to go with it because I'm like, all right, we're getting focused on them again. Didn't expect them to so quickly kill off one of the Robins. Like that really, really threw me off. And I agree with you that like I am a huge Tim Drake stan, so like this did hurt me. But in this case, I like the idea of like flipping it on its head of like which Robin you kill. Obviously, not same situation, but you're killing a Robin, right? And so that was very, very interesting to me of this almost being their rendition of like, this is our version of Death in the Family, almost in a way.
And it was a red herring. They set up Jason Todd and they were like, yeah. And I,
they did.
And I'm saying they, like Scott Snyder and Nick Dragata, like, oh man, because it's both of them working in tandem. It was like the story, but the art was so good, sickening in a good way, but like, you know what I mean, in a quality way. There's so much to this issue. I'm literally looking through it. This is the issue where I was pleading. I was like, no. And I had to double check. I read that scene, that death scene over and over to be like, am I seeing this correctly? who died, which one, and
right.
like,
Well, when he was above them like that, I was like, oh, is he gonna come down and like slice them? And I literally thought about it for a second, where I'm like, I remember I'd seen one of the covers where it was him forming himself to be Batman, right? Like they're mirroring each other. And one of them, like Clayface's spikes on the back were super, super long. And I let it thought for a second, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of brutal if he just like shoots down a spike or something like that at them. And he jumps at them like, oh, okay, he's just gonna fight them or something. And then the next panel, him completely impaled. I was like, oh. So they were doing what I was starting to think for a second. And I mean, like, man, that image is just like brutal. I mean, absolutely brutal.
Yeah. He Clayface engulfs both of them.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about this issue. Ethan, tag in. What?
Yeah. So I'm heartbroken. Love Tim Drake. Issue was amazing. I mean, everything that you said, even like Bruce's paranoia and how that's been eating him alive from within. Him still believing that Thomas Wayne is alive. I love the Rogues, his friends, especially Waylon Jones. And like they finally have come around to like speaking to Bruce because they've been on the outs for a while. And like unfortunately, Bruce is having a mental breakdown. So he's not able to like accept his friends and their friendship and their help. And Waylon is upset because he's like, I did all this work building this bridge, and then now you are not mentally able to embrace them. So there was a lot going on. Bruce is so messed up to the point where he even attacks his mother, which I'm like, okay, he's really in a bad way, to where he's doing that. So yeah, this was really like a gripping, emotional issue that I feel like really shows how far Batman has fallen. I think that this is kind of like the outcome of him pushing people away since like the Poison Ivy arc. He's really been, of course, he's like worked with Harley Quinn, but he pushed her away. He pushed Barbara Gordon away, and it's like it's really showing that like Batman can't do it on his own. That's the whole premise, conceit, the like theme of Batman's mythos. If you really look at it, is that he's not really this solo character that people try to build him out to be. He needs people because he is not mentally well enough to do it himself, and this is what the issue proved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always felt that like whenever there's the emphasis on Batman choosing to be alone is the worst possible case scenario. Always prefer that. Like obviously, like people talk all the time about like it's like him by himself, like him with prep time, all this kind of stuff. Anytime people try to take all the elements of him being really cool because he's alone, like it's like I get that, but like the whole point is that like he absolutely crumbles if he's just by himself like that. Like, he completely falls apart. And showing how desperately he needs those people in his life, all that support, all the people who like build him up to be what he is and what the symbol is just so important. I think this was such a great way of showing that, especially showing just how scared and frustrated he is with everything, to the point of him like even lashing out at his own mom, just seeing just how deep in the hole he is with everything going on.
Yeah, Scarecrow has done a number on Batman. And that's what I love about this too. Some people have complained that we haven't seen Scarecrow enough. I'm like, that's the point.
It works well.
Yeah, like he is this like entity, this shadow that is covering Batman. He doesn't have to be there in a physical way. He's not an attacker. He attacks the mind. He is being paralyzed by fear to the point where he is irrational. And that is far more interesting than anything that is too overt and obvious. So I'm loving this direction.
And especially with Scarecrow, like I feel the same way about this stuff as I do like when people talk about horror words, like the less you show, the better, especially with characters like this. Like it's not to say if you showed Scarecrow more would be a problem. I'm sure it would work really well. But the less they show of him and him being in these very faint moments of like, we know he's around when these crows show up, and like this, all the information we have on him is only the information that Batman is learning. Like that makes it creepier for us. Like that makes it so weird. And Dimithri, I don't know if you remember this, but maybe this was one of our previous shows we did. I talked to you about how if you look back at the issue where Joker's talking with Bane, you can see an image of somebody in like a brown coat and hat. I said, I think that was supposed to be Absolute Scarecrow. They show that panel during Bruce like looking at everything and trying to connect all the dots. If you go back and you look, they do. Yeah, if you go back and look, there's an image and it's like Joker and he's wearing his hat, and then there's just like a guy in a brown suit next to him. And I do really wonder, if that was always intentional, or if he just kind of had like a guy next to him and eventually was like, hey, this kind of fits the design we did for Scarecrow anyway. Should we just say that was him next to him? Because
it's all planned.
I think this was.
You think it's planned? Yeah.
This was intentional, I feel like, because even if you look back to the zoo, the first issue, there are like crows in the air.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like Scott Snyder and Nick Dragata have really laced this whole entire story, and I feel like they planted small things that would build up to bigger things later.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but if you go back, you can see that that's that panel. So I was like, oh, okay, so that was supposed to be Scarecrow. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk about how in this scene where he's having a breakdown, Batman is the world's greatest detective. In Absolute Batman, he's not, right? And 616 Batman, you know what I mean? Prime Earth Batman. He is a great detective, and he uses deductive reasoning, right? He picks up pieces of the puzzle and then puts them together to create the thing. This Batman is using, if I'm using this correctly, inductive reasoning, where it's you get the whole piece of the puzzle that you think, like you get the whole picture, and then you try to make pieces of it. So it's and it doesn't always work that way, right? So what he's doing is he sees the whole thing of, he's so paranoid that he sees this whole thing that like it's all being manipulated. That's the big picture. And then he's going in and trying to find ways that each little thing is a manipulation. But like, he is sounding crazy, and I can't tell whether he's crazy or not. But like, he was like, oh, when his dad was shot, Wayland was he was facing the croc pit. And when when his dad was shot, Penguin was turned towards the Penguin enclosure. And then Edward Nygma was closest to the monkeys, and the monkeys are the smartest animal in the zoo. And this is where he like just drops off, because it's like, is that a kind of a stretch, right? Like, okay, monkeys are the smartest animals in the zoo, fine, but that's why you're the Riddler. And then he was like, it took him a long thing. Yeah, it took him a long time. He was like, Harvey took the longest time to figure out, but Harvey was at the petting zoo, and they keep rams at the petting zoo. The sacrificial favorite of Giannis, I think is the Greek way of saying it, the god of duality, and then that's making him Two-Face. And it's this like trope of Batman, like especially like 1966 Adam West Batman, where he's taking all these little things and then he's like cracking the case. But this is like the ridiculous opposite implosion of it. Such a crazy scene.
It's interesting because it plays in a way where you're like, no, this makes sense. At least for us as the viewers, it's like, I see how people think he's crazy, but for us, this makes sense, right? Especially as we're starting to put all these pieces together. But as he keeps going, it's like, okay, yeah, he's right, but also I'm like, I don't know, is that too far? Like, is that like getting?
It's definitely too like the ram, like Harvey was next to the petting zoo, and the petting zoo has a ram, and a ram is sacrificed to Giannis, the god of duality.
Right, but then it's like also like, but what if it is intense? Like, I mean, he has orchestrated so much. It's like, it is crazy, but then it's like, maybe, but no, maybe he is crazy when it comes to that. So it starts testing our limit of what we think is crazy for him.
That's the thing, because like the whole idea is like, is Thomas Wayne still alive? We don't know as readers. Bruce doesn't know. We're being manipulated in the same way. And shout out to Damon Watson 7405 out there in the chat saying, basically, rather than using chemicals, Scarecrow haunts the narrative itself.
Yeah.
Like, he is the meta in a way, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then Damon Watson says, even when Scarecrow is not physically present, his influence is present in Bruce's mind.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw somebody. I don't know how familiar you guys are with like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but like I saw someone say that like his powers and the way they're revealed remind them of JoJo because in JoJo's these people have powers that are very ominous and strange and almost like really overpowered, but you don't know what it is at first. So as they're doing these things, you're like really confused. Like they're very specific powers. Like if they touch you, they can like cut time from like 30 minutes back, but only for a little bit. It's like these very specific powers, but they're like glass cannon stuff. So it's like when they start doing these things, you're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm really scared because I don't know exactly what this guy can do. I faintly have an idea, but I don't really know. And it reminds me of Scarecrow in that way, where it's like, I think I know what you can do, but the rest of it that I don't know is what really scares me because I'm not exactly sure how you did this.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how it works, but that's kind of the point of it,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Same with Clayface. We get to see the full extent of absolute Clayface.
The hands, like
the
sculpting, like that's so interesting.
He always mimics what's being said back, but in my head, he's saying it with a different tone, right? He's saying
also different meaning. Like at the end, what did he say to him? It was like Batman was angry because he was getting away, and he was like, "You don't get to leave," and then he tells him, "You don't get to leave ever," and it's like kind of flipping the meaning of what they're talking about here.
Yeah. This issue,
awesome. It was. I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah. It destroyed me in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That was Absolute Batman 23. We're making good time, and we still got a lot to talk about. Here, my pick of the week, and I'm very, very confused on why you guys didn't pick this up. This was not on either of your guys' reading lists. I was very confused why. I loved the miniseries that came before it. This is a sequel miniseries. My pick of the week is Batman and Robin Year One Dynamic Duos, issue number 1, written by Mark Waid, art by Chris Samnee. The original miniseries, it was like 12 issues. I had been talking about it all the time on Comic Talk, and like now the sequel series is out, and like it's one of the first books I read from this week when I got all my books together. Absolute Batman and this, two sides of like the same coin, right? This is such an amazing series, and it also made me think, why can't we get a Mark Waid, Chris Samnee animated series for this?
Interesting.
I would love a Batman and Robin, almost a Batman and Robin Year One animated series. Did I say animated series? I meant animated series for this. The same art style. You know how like Bruce Timm, his art style is expansive, and it's not him physically drawing it, right? But if you take like inspiration from Chris Samnee, and like you're telling these type of stories where there's a darkness to Gotham, but there's also still a joy to it, and it's like the joy of what you bring to it. It's not too goofy, but it's also not too like depressing, you know?
It's
so good.
It's like I completely agree with you in the sense of like getting an animated series like that, because it is like the best way to tackle that kind of Batman stuff is almost in the way vibe wise I think Tim Burton tried to, where it's like there's the exaggerated dramaticness of Gotham, but there's also the darker elements that almost get a little goofy in ways, but also are very serious. And also the like kind of like whimsical elements of things that like make you feel like you're watching a Saturday cartoon. And you have to kind of find a way to nail all those. And I haven't hit this yet, but I feel like it would hit that exact vibe that I'm looking for. You know?
Did you read the original, the one before it?
Did not get a chance to. No. I know. It was like one of the things I missed out on.
It's the same creative team. So the first one is just that without the dynamic duos. The dynamic duos is the tagline for the sequel, but like, it's so good. It's so like, it's there's something about Dick Grayson in this that you don't get to see that much. It's just classic Batman, Robin, Commissioner Gordon, Alfred is alive, right? Like it's great. I don't know. Yeah, what?
No, I was gonna say I know it'd be right up my alley. That's the thing. So I gotta clearly get right on it.
You could have jumped on this. This is issue 1.
I know. You know what? We'll be playing catch up, and next time I'm on here, I'll be caught up on all of it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Ethan.
I have to read that original story too.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is on my list to read.
It's definitely a must read. I think I got it in hardcover. I think I got the original one in hardcover. It's just really cool. Like I don't know what to say. The original series came out at the same time like Batman Dark Patterns was coming out, and like they're both again 2 different kind of stories where like that's the thing, like Batman works in so many different levels. You can tell different like genre stories. Like Absolute Batman sure is in its own universe, but like Batman Dark Patterns and this are technically the same universe. They're just different time periods and different stories that you want to tell with Batman. He's versatile, right?
Extremely, yeah, extremely.
Yeah, there's something that happens in this issue that I don't know whether I've seen before. Like there's like a nuance to the writing in this. Basically, Bruce Wayne goes out on a date with I forget who. I think one of the ladies from the series before this. And a bunch of kids with masks come to mug them. And Bruce has to both like kind of fight them off but not hurt them, but then starts to hurt them. And then they grab for her purse and he flips out. Cause like it's traumatic due to his parents, right? And like it's so interesting of a scene that like maybe I haven't seen before, or maybe I have seen before, but not in this sort of nuanced way. Cause I can't blame Bruce for doing that, but like I don't know. He loses it. He doesn't beat the kid up, but he like grabs her arm and she's like, you're hurting me. And like, he has to kind of like check himself a little bit.
Interesting. You know, it's interesting because it's like we see Batman's trauma tackled all the time, but I don't think it's ever really tackled like that, like in a more direct, reflective way where he's watching similar instances that actually make him like kind of crumble for a second. You know what I mean? Like we don't really see that very often. So that's very, very interesting to me.
Yeah. I can't talk enough about the first series and then this one. So even if you don't read the first series and you can only jump in on this one, it still works. It's a number 1. It works. There's like no loose plot points from the first series. So
I'm a completionist, so I probably still want to read.
I mean, of course, yes, us on the show. But anyone out there who wants to, pick this one up, you don't have to technically have read the first one.
Right.
But I mean, it's the same creative team, so I would. So
yeah, it's got to be worth it.
Yeah. All right. So those are our 3 picks of the week, but obviously there are other comics that came out that we really are dying to talk about. So I want to talk about Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 1, because I think all 3 of us read this one, right?
I did not.
Jack, you didn't? Oh, this is the one I was thinking to myself, why didn't you have this on your list?
Oh, the Miles Morales one? I don't think I got to this one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you didn't have it on your list, I don't think. And so I was like, oh, this seems like such an easy jumping on point.
I know. With Miles stuff, it's like sometimes I'm like, man, where are they at right now with Miles? Is this the right time to jump in? And this would have definitely been the perfect time for me to get into it.
Yeah. I thought it was a really good like first issue to get like kind of new readers into it, but at the same time making references to like the previous run. Miles is single again, sadly. I liked him in Starling, but like in this run, he's single again, and they just broke up. So everything is fresh and new. They explore a new villain. They explore his relationship with his dad and his dad's relationship to the villain. Yeah, I don't know. Ethan, you read this one?
Yeah, I read it. I thought it was good. I think it has potential to get better. There were some things that worked, some things that didn't. The girlfriend situation. I understand, like, starting anew and wanting it fresh. It also felt like, first order of business, let's get her out of the way. And that felt a bit forced. Some of the dialogue was also a bit clunky for me personally. It didn't always feel natural. I definitely like the concept. The artwork is amazing. Like, it is such a beautiful book from beginning to end. To me, that's the best part of the whole story, is how good Miles looks. And also, I like the concept of, uh, Gwen and uh, Miguel,
yeah,
and they're like like that kind of like team. I'm a sucker for teams, if you couldn't tell. So I love dynamics and like how characters interact. So that part really interests me. So I think it was a good setup, kind of clunky in parts, but I'm gonna keep on reading and see where it goes.
Yeah, I get where you're saying. That's the thing about an issue number one, especially an issue number one that's coming off of a previous run, where it's like, let's talk this out. What's different about this run versus what, like, what have we left behind and whatnot. It's definitely a plus that they had two different artists on this book, one for the current story and one for the flashbacks to Jeff Morales. And they've been calling him Jeff Morales, right? Because that's a thing in universe that doesn't go by Jeff Davis anymore. And so Nico Leone does the art for the current like story, like the timeline, and then Valentine Delandro does the flashbacks, and that's to Jeff's flashback to his like Nick Fury recruiting him. Here's the thing though, Ethan, do you know what I'm going to talk about with Nick Fury in this?
Maybe, but
how does the timeline work? Because how old is Nick Fury Jr.? So Nick Fury Jr. is Black Nick Fury. Nick Fury Sr. is White Nick Fury.
Okay.
So the Sam Jackson inspired one is the Junior. And then his father is the one that we know with the silver kind of streaks and the, groovy baby Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. sort of like series, right? Like, and that then he was the man on the wall. Then Bucky became man on the wall. There was like this whole thing, right? But like, Marvel has essentially moved from Nick Fury Sr. to Nick Fury Jr. But that I thought happened relatively recently in the timeline.
Yeah, I assumed, I mean, and I could be wrong, but that there was an adjustment made. I can't really tell you where, but I just kind of like what they did with Supergirl, where like in World's Finest, they're now saying like she was around during Dick Grayson's time, when like, Kara Zor-El came in like post Connell, but they adjusted it. So my assumption, like, I can't give you an exact like date or like timestamp, but I assume that they like kind of like fudged the timeline, similar to like, oh, Captain America, was now around during 9/11 and or his involvement
after
in 9/11.
Captain America came after 9/11. Like, he was unfrozen from ice after 9/11.
Right, but like the specific story that is involving him and like adding in the new Captain America who's crashing out now in the Avengers.
Colton Dunn, right? Yeah.
Yeah, David
is
Colton.
He the one with
David Colton? Who's Colton Dunn?
David Colton.
But yeah.
Is he the one that's getting the sentry powers yet?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's like I kind of felt like it was a David Colton situation where like, oh, he wasn't there before, but oh, now he is. And I kind of chalked it up to that.
Colton Dunn is the actor from Superstore. Close, very close. Improviser, actor Colton Dunn. No, what's his name in the comic?
David Colton.
David Colton.
Yes,
I've been in my head calling him Colton Dunn. Okay. It's Garrett from Superstore, if you know Superstore. Anyway,
that was a good show.
Yeah, I love Superstore. Yeah, so okay, I'm fine with this. I'm not nitpicking. I'm just a little confused on when Nick Fury Jr. got onto the scene of like machinations in the background, so to speak, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, but the art is in this is so crisp and like okay, we'll see. Also, is there something up with that new girl in school? Like she looks like she looks too unique not to be a supervillain.
Yeah, she's got to be something. Like I figured there was something like she might grow into a villain.
Yeah.
Or something like that. She seems poised to become something more than what she is now.
Like they're gonna do something like because she has like gray eyes. Like they mentioned that it's like a mutation or whatever. She has gray eyes. She's gonna be like Gray Gargoyle's daughter or something, where she could like turn people to stone or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff. Cool. I don't know. I'm throwing stuff out. Okay, so that's Miles Morales' Spider-Man issue number 1, written by the same writer. So it's Brian Hill who wrote Ultimate Black Panther. And you know, announcements to come on that line, but we'll see. I want to talk Kingdom of Zod.
Oh, cool.
Did we all read? No, I know that Jack didn't read the Supergirl one, but the first issue of Kingdom of Zod, the part 1 was Supergirl, second was Action Comics. Ethan, did you read the Supergirl one of this?
I did read the Supergirl one.
It all blurred together because I read them back to back.
Yeah, I did too, because once again, like I wanted the whole story. But yeah, okay, first things first, I'm not a Zod fan. He is probably my least favorite Superman villain just because he feels very one note.
Yeah.
So going into it, it's already kind of starting in the negative. Of course, I'm going to be open-minded. You know, if you can do the story well, I'm here for it. And also, I do like the whole connection between Lois and her superwoman powers and how that connects to Zod. That feels refreshing. With the Supergirl issue, here's my thing. I'm on Team Connor Kent. Like, how dare you invite Prime into the super family without sitting down and having a conversation with Connor Kent and being like, hey, you know, the guy who killed you, he's going to be showing up to game night over here playing Mario Kart, and he pops up. And you don't think it's going to be on site? I'm sorry. I
feel the same way.
Thank you. Yeah. Like, you're not going to invite someone who killed me. Like, literally, and set my friends crashing out in various directions. Tim Drake tried to clone Connor Kent. Wonder Girl joined the cult of Connor Kent. Like, and then you're just going to invite him and be like, oops, I forgot to tell you. Look, yeah. These characters mean something to me. So I was on, like, get him. I'm going to keep it PG. But I'm like, get Prime. Stomp him to the ground.
Yes.
So that was important. So I just wanted to make that clear. I'm on Team Connor Kent. But yeah, about the actual storyline. I actually like how they have been building up the Caldero storyline and the Kryptonite City. Like when Superman Unlimited started, like that kind of hook, the whole like Kryptonite meteor coming down, and then like Superman being out of commission for like a month. And then now there's this whole city made of Kryptonite. They have like Kryptonite jewelry and weaponry. It's like a whole... It's very fast that this whole thing sprung up. I'd be kind of hot if that happened, but it's still interesting. And then how like Zod infiltrated it and now he's there. So yeah, the setup and premise of it was good. I feel like it's starting off to a pretty good start. It's a good introduction. I like Supergirl's, like her like Super Force or whatever that team is called.
What do they call
that concept?
Yeah.
That concept is very cool. Once again, I like teams. I'm a sucker for teams. I don't know what to tell you. That was cool. And then, yeah, it's kind of hard not to like go into Action Comics 1101. But yeah, the first one set up the story and it was interesting. I like, you know, I'm still on board with the Zod of it all.
Yeah.
Lois being captured.
I mean, we can, like, we're moving into Action Comics 1101. That's fine.
Cool, yeah. Well. Yeah. Love Superwoman as a concept, just because the same thing with Mary Jane. I know some people are like against, like, oh, Mary Jane Venom. Like, to me, the point of comics is to like stretch characters as far as possible, and of course they're gonna snap back. But like, let's see what they do with it. And so I've been kind of like waiting for this storyline where Lois confronts Zod. You know, and I feel like with DCKO and there's been like other events that kind of like, you know, sidelined it. So now they have the time to explore it. and the whole like quantum entanglement of it. I love whenever like sci-fi elements are brought in.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely like Action Comics 1101 was brought me into the story even more, to where I'm pretty excited to see where it's gonna go. So, gonna have to wait till read the actual entire story, but so far it's a very strong start.
Yeah. Well, something that I didn't realize is that Connor Kent calls Lena Luthor his sister.
Yes, I love that too.
Is that the first time I'm seeing this?
I think so, because like I have in my brain, I won't go all into it, but like there's so much that can be explored with Connor Kent, Lex Luthor, and Lena Luthor. Like that whole thing, like, because I feel like even when Lex turned good for that time period, like that could have been a time where like Connor Kent could have had a relationship with him. Like, what is this, dynamic? Can we have something that is more like father son? Like that was an interesting area to explore, but like Connor Kent gets disregarded so often. That's why I can be a little bit sensitive when it comes to my boy.
Yeah, the same way. I feel it 100%. Yeah.
Thank you for understanding.
Of course.
So I like love when they like take the time to be like, no, yeah, that is his like biological sister. Like they share DNA. So I love that they included that, and hopefully they can like build upon it, because that's what I live for of these characters, their relationships and how they interact. So I want more of that.
Wait, is Lena Lex's daughter? She is, right? Lex's daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused also with sometimes Lena being his sister. And so I'm like,
right. Yeah. Yeah, because in the
CW show
House of Brainiac, it's like that was his daughter.
Yeah.
But also, you're right. The CW,
the CW show
did that, right?
Yeah. So then I confused myself. Even I've been reading comics for decades, but I still got confused just right now. I was like, wait a minute.
Get it? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
That happens.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's been a solid start. I'm with you. I'm not a big Zod guy at all. I really am not.
Yeah.
I do agree that I think he's very, very one note. So when they were like, we're doing a Zod storyline, I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess. Like, I guess I can enjoy that for the most part. And I think I still can. I think it's still enjoyable. But my big thing with Zod is that, like, we're at the point with Zod where I always ask myself, like, well, what more interesting things are there to do with him right now? Like, and every time, it's like, not to say it's super bad or anything like that, but you're like, okay, this is fine. I almost really wish that he was treated almost like a Vegeta kind of character, and like could just become that kind of character of the Superman mythos. I think Bendis tried doing something like that a while ago, if I'm not wrong. But I just felt that, like, at this point in time with where Zod's at, just turn him into like a Vegeta type character for the mythos.
That's actually a cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Superman and Lois?
I have watched season 1. I haven't continued past that.
Come on, man.
I know. I caught up on Capes Crusaders. I'm there, but like
I don't know how far did you meet Tal Rho in season 1?
So?
He was season 1. Yeah.
Okay. So that's Superman's brother, right? Where you find out that Morgan Edge is actually Tal Rho, Superman's brother. And
right.
And basically, I think if you want something what you're saying, watch that and you'll see Tal Rho's journey. He is very Vegeta, Uncle Vegeta, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm hoping maybe some of that DNA starts to spread into the comics a little bit, because I don't know, of all the stuff to do with Zod at this point, I just think that's the most interesting angle.
Not after what happened in this issue.
No, not now.
Where that was so, Zod doing that was so, like, fucked up. It was just so fucked up, because I'm like, I thought he was the type of ruler to maybe treat his followers a little bit better, but no, he was like, let me test to see if my heat vision comes back on your face.
My God.
And he just burns that guy's face clean off.
Point blank.
Yeah. That guy was smiling. That guy was like, I don't know if that guy was evil or not, but he seemed nice. He seemed like a nice guy. You know?
was reading it maybe like a few hours before we were recording, and I remember I was like pretty quiet, just reading it, and I audibly was like, "Oh, okay." It's like, okay, wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah. By the way, before we move on, did you see the variant cover for Action Comics where Superman looks like Billy the Butcher? Like,
I think so. I think so.
He looks like Carl Urban. He has like this beard.
I think I did
on the variant cover. I just thought it was funny.
I don't think I saw that, but I'll check it up after this.
Yeah. So we'll start picking up the pace on some of these things. I just want to shout out Jeff the Landshark Superstar #2. I don't have to talk about it for too long because I really liked issue 1 and I love issue 2, and I didn't expect to. I didn't expect to like issue 1. Excuse me. But like it's really fun. It's X-Men focused, but like it's Jeff the Landshark focused. It's cute, but also like funny, and like I don't know. There's something funny about it. There's a Breaking Bad variant cover that it was just on the screen right now.
Really?
Yeah, and like Jeff the Landshark has a what they call a frenemy in the solicits. His name is Ken the Septipus, because he has seven tentacles, and I think he's a kleptomaniac. I think he steals things with his tentacles. So there's like classic like Looney Tunes antics that goes on in this book, but then also Mojo is like the villain in this premise. Mojo's trying to put together a Jeff like frontman superhero team called the Jeff Coast Avengers, because he's like, that's how it is. And then but he's been creating clones of like different like random like people. And then there's a character named, it's like Wolverine Kawaii or Kawaii Wolverine, and it's this little chibi looking Wolverine thing that like Mojo just wants to kill because like he's like, well, you didn't work out in the ratings, so let's like incinerate him. And then Jeff the Landshark like stands up for him. It's super cute. I don't know. I don't know if any of these characters will last past this series, but like it's really fun.
That sounds fun. It sounds like something that's up my alley. Just like a little bit of fun.
It's also written by Kelly Thompson, who writes Absolute Wonder Woman. So
nice,
cool.
Nice.
Probably a nice break from her, from going from Absolute Wonder Woman to
right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it definitely flexes the way you write. I think when you're writing for like comedic bits and beats, and like there's a pace to it. It's working for me. That's all I gotta say. I want to hit the more stuff that you get. Infernal Hulk issue number 10. Who read this one?
I did. That was, I mean, it's a consistently great book. I feel like it's underrated, but I don't know. Like, it's one of my like surprise hits. This one, it's like voodoo. He has this whole plan. It's really like focused on him and like how he's having this like master plan to like undo the Hulk, because like Infernal Hulk really feels like this almost like unstoppable beast, even more so than like you know, like the Incredible Hulk in some way, just because he's this like eldritch horror being that's also highly intelligent, and it just feels like it's his destiny to like take over the world. There's just this all-encompassing sense of dread when it comes with him. But seeing like voodoo, it feels like this requires something more than like physical strength, to where like powers beyond like having to be involved in order to take him out. So this was maybe the most surprising issue thus far, and definitely one of my favorites.
Okay. And this is the end of this mini series, and then they're doing March to the Hulk War, or what is it called?
Well, like I know they're having like Infernal Hulk versus Wolverine.
Yes.
I know that's happening.
It's a bunch of one shots. It's like Infernal Hulk versus Wolverine, then versus Fantastic Four, then versus Spider-Man, then versus Avengers, leading up to whatever that mini series is after that. It's called like is it Infernal War? Is it something like that?
I think it's something like that. I don't remember the exact name, but it sounds familiar. So I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all right. I mean, I felt too many issues behind on this, but like I'll definitely finish this one up because I did like it.
It's very good. It's very atmospheric, and that's what I love about it so much.
Yeah. Did you guys read X-Men 35?
Yes.
Did not.
Okay.
I did.
I'm liking where Uncanny X-Men and X-Men are going right now. Like I feel like they're really ramping up towards like being their own things and doing what they want. And so I don't know. I like this issue. Beast talking to the chairman, which is older Beast, right?
Yeah.
Krakoa Beast is really what it is. How'd you like this one?
I like this too. You know, I think we talked about it like last year, but or whenever it came out. But like Age of Revelation wasn't something that I was into, but I do like where it's heading now. Of like it feels personal. Of like Beast speaking with the chairman and also like fearing that that's what he's gonna become. And his conversation with Magic is one of my favorite ones of the whole series so far because I love it when characters in their situations are taken seriously, and like that feels like something Magic would say, of having, you know, the life that she's had, of like dying in hell and the torture that she's really experienced, and looking at that realistically and being like, she would have the best advice for Beast because she's going to look at it from a different perspective and say, you're actually lucky to be aware that there's this evil inside of you so that you can avoid it. When people, you know, slip into their dark side, they don't know where the line is, but they do. And I love when it's like unexpected voice of reasons because of their particular paths. So yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes of the whole series.
Yeah. I mean, this is setting us up. It's a DNX prologue, and I don't know what's going to happen with DNX coming up, but okay, cool. We'll see it. I'll give it a fair shake, you know?
Yeah.
The cover for this, the main cover for this issue, the one that's split in half and it's like two teams mirror image, that would be a cool poster. And I feel like because you could like turn it upside down, you could.
Oh yeah.
I have a poster. You guys should come over sometime and see my posters. I have a House of X. I have a House of X Powers of X poster that is flippable, rotatable, whatever, and like I don't know, it's pretty cool. I'll show you guys later. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, X-Men United #6. I'm gonna be honest. I stopped reading X-Men United. It's gonna end at a certain point before DNX. I don't know. Ethan, you read this one?
I did. And like, it's messed up because I really enjoy X-Men United. It's a very hard book to juggle all these characters, but it's happening and it's being done very well. And I love the feeling of X-Men being united to be very on the nose of just
I'm
like
with you.
Uncanny X-Men, the X-Men, and then, you know, Exceptional X-Men. They're all like together as one because, you know, post Krakoa, they've been separated. But like this was an opportunity to like bring them all together. And it's created some really interesting dynamics and characters, and it feels like a community again. And I love how they've been like deployed and used in the interactions. So it's unfortunate with, you know, Marvel's model of not keeping stories around to like allow them to grow. But this was also another great issue with Emma Frost taking leadership, but then they also go into like this wraith realm where they confront their like dark side, their like shadow selves. And I love that concept of like their worst moments coming back to haunt them. Like I love psychological dealing with your inner demons. That stuff like is so exciting. So I don't think this book gets enough credit. It's unfortunate with, once again, the current model, but it is a really good read.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll catch up if you're saying okay.
I really, it feels X-Men, like the best parts of it, because you have all these characters that even you have new ones with the older ones and how they interact with each other. And I love seeing the growth and the connection. So I recommend it.
Okay. All right. Green Lantern Corps, issue number 19. Uh,
I think that was just me.
I read it too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this was fun. This was fun. I've enjoyed Green Lantern Corps quite a bit. Specifically, everything to do with like bringing all the other Lantern Corps back into things of just like the Red Lanterns and all that kind of stuff. Manhunter virus stuff has been really, really fun. I like what they've been doing with Aya. This was a fun issue for that kind of stuff. Wrapping that story up. Guy Gardner is this like monk, like lantern thing is still just very, very funny for me. But it's fun. Like I do really like it actually. I think this was a nice wrap up to this storyline. I think it's been really, really enjoyable so far. I think I've liked it more than the mainline Green Lantern, even though I also have liked the mainline Green Lantern. But I think this edges out a little bit higher up, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is written by Morgan Hampton. Morgan Hampton's great. Morgan Hampton is writing Steel next.
Yes, yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. And so, like, super cool. I was, what was I saying? I read this issue, but I had missed a couple other issues before this. But this one, I was like, I read the one before this, but I skipped a couple issues, and I jumped on this one, and I mean, it was a cool like wrap up of everything. Something I noticed, Jack, maybe this was in issues that I didn't read. Where are the Star Sapphires and that Avatar? They're not there at the end.
I think something happened to them. It's been a minute since I've caught up on the rest of it, but I think something happened to them. I don't know if it was more properly explained in the mainline Green Lantern.
Okay.
But it was I think something specific happened to them, because I noticed that too, because I was kind of I had caught up a while ago, and so it's been a minute since I've been reading, and so I was like, yeah, I think I don't know if they had gotten wiped out or something like that because of the virus. I'm not 100% sure either.
Well, I know Star Sapphire herself is on the Justice League right now, right? And so so there's that. But and then the avatar of the Star Sapphires, I think its name's Predator, is on the cover of this. So then I'm like, but Star Sapphire, none of that emotional part is in this book.
They specify at the end as Guy Gardner's talking to the rest of them, he doesn't mention the Star Sapphires. He's like red, blue, yellow, all that, and he just like ignores them. So
yeah,
maybe I got to go back and make sure I didn't miss something. Maybe I did, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay. You didn't read Emperor Aquaman?
I got to like the first couple pages of it. The only thing I know is that he got another big power upgrade, is what I've been told. But I was not able to fully finish this one.
Yeah, I only read like a couple pages into this one. It looked cool by the cover, and I love the art. I love the art. Poseidon versus Aquaman, great.
All I know is people saying that he's gotten another giant upgrade in power, which is very fun. But
did he like kill Poseidon and take his power? Is like
he must have. I just heard people going, "All right, he's on another huge upgrade again. Let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Question for you guys: how come you guys aren't reading Barbara Gordon Breakout? Barbara Gordon Breakout number 4 came out this week.
I was on the fence with it. Like, I actually like the introduction a lot more than I thought that I would, when like Batman kind of like led into it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of with like Vandal Savage's attack. I'm probably gonna catch up on it. It just hasn't been on my rotation.
Yeah, for me, it's like at first I was like, oh, I don't know, we'll see. Like, I think this could be pretty good, and then I just never got around to reading the first issue. But then the more I've heard from other people about how much they're liking it, now it's definitely on my list. Like, I want to catch up with this one. So I'm up to date with everything.
Yeah, I don't want to. So I really like this issue. I'll say that, and I like issue 1, 2, and 3 slow down a lot, to the point where I feel like this work may read better in like trade, right? Like, I don't want to dissuade you from picking up the rest of the issues, because now it's picking up, but like it's a slow burn in the first like couple of issues, and finally in this issue they're like, okay, now we're like getting somewhere, but like it's a really slow burn for issues 2 and 3.
Yeah, when it comes to that kind of stuff, when it ends up being a slow burn for me, I usually do end up going like, I'm gonna wait till it's all kind of to go to read it. Because sometimes that really can benefit it for you, where if you're reading something month to month and you're like, oh, it's kind of dragging, but then you read it all together and you're like, okay, I like this more now as I read it all together. You know what I mean? It's sometimes that can happen with TV shows for me too, where it's like you're watching it weekly and you're like, this is good, but it's really, really slow. And then you go back and you rewatch the season. You're like, wait, no, this is way better than I remember it. Maybe it's just because the pacing all together, having it all together, I enjoy it more. But yeah, sometimes that can help.
Yeah. I would say maybe now, sure, catch up. You could read issues 1, 2, 3, 4 to get ready for 5. I don't think it's going to slow down from here on out.
Good to know. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Do you think is it leading somewhere interesting? Because I'm curious what the point of this is. I guess like the Poison Ivy, like her like taking over Gotham City with her like Eden.
Yeah.
Her, like, force.
Bad Seeds. Bad Seeds comes out
August 20 something.
Right? I don't know. They have a 27th? Whole schedule.
I think it's at the end of August.
Yeah, somewhere around like the 27th or something, I think it is.
August 26th. Yeah.
Okay, I was close, yeah.
So I'm looking at this right now. They have Bad Seeds is a 10-week epic unfolding in the pages of Batman, Poison Ivy, Detective Comics, Batgirl, Batwoman, Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Nightwing. And then they have one shots or like two shots of very specific like new kind of like tie-ins. So Bad Seeds Sunset, Bad Seeds Gotham Central, Bad Seeds Gotham General, which are they doing like the whole Dick Wolf thing with Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago General or whatever. Anyway, Gotham Central and Gotham General and Streets of Gotham, and then Sunrise. So Sunset and Sunrise bookend the crossover, and then Gotham General, Gotham Central, and Streets of Gotham are like one shots or two shots. So, and then crossing over and everything else. So 10 weeks. That's it's pretty much September and October. It's going to be in every Batman title, September and October.
Cool.
So it better be good. I think I'll say that.
Yeah, it better be.
I'll say like
it sounds good to me.
They're hinging a lot on that, right? If you're like two months of every Bat title.
A lot. It's a lot.
It better like. I'm not threatening by saying it better be, but I'm just saying like for their sake, they got to pull it off. That being said, like DC's doing good.
It's been built up really well. Personally, like I've been reading Poison Ivy. I'm like a couple issues behind, but it's a really strong story. And Matt Fraction, like I trust like what they're doing with like Mayor Poison Ivy and Commissioner Vandal Savage. Like they're really constructing a very interesting and compelling Gotham. So I'm gonna put my faith in Bad Seeds.
Yeah. They're also doing something in Barbara Gordon Breakout. So they're like, if you look at the main cover, there's another woman on the cover, and she was a Gotham cop, but what they're building up is that any enemies of I want to say enemies of the state, but it's really enemies of the city. Vandal Savage is throwing in prison and offing them in and covering it up by suicide, saying it's suicide. So like a councilwoman gets thrown in jail, a cop gets thrown in jail. Like it's anyone who's going to stand up against the Vandal Savage regime in Gotham is getting thrown in jail. So, yeah, I think Barbara Gordon Breakout is worth getting into now.
Yeah, definitely.
I get that.
I think the last couple books are just me. I think you both talked about everything you guys read.
Yep, talked about all mine.
I think so.
Let me know if I missed something. Wolverine issue number 25. This run has just been really good. I had to read 24 because I missed it last month in order to read 25, but it was worth it because it was like a two-parter. Well, it was like the two-part of a three-parter. And it finished it up, and it was sad, but it was like classic Wolverine type adventure. Alpha Flight like popped in. There was like a villain that's not really a villain. It was kind of a tragedy of sorts. It was great. I liked it. Then there was Venom issue 260, which I thought would have Mary Jane in it, but it barely did. It's really about Dylan Brock and then him seeing the future with Eddie Brock that happened, I guess, during like King in Black or something. Anyway, Queen in Black's going on right now. It is what it is. And then last but not least, I read Twilight Zone issue number 10 from IDW. And again, it's an anthology book. So each issue is just one story. And this story had to do with two sorority girls that find like a hidden hallway that takes them to this like bunker. It's cool. And it's in black and white. So like, if you like Twilight Zone and that sort of thing, they're trying to tell like modern stories, but still in that vibe. And it's black and white. It's Twilight Zone. You know, what more do you need?
Nice. I like the Twilight Zone, so I might check that out.
But that's also the thing is like you miss a couple of issues, you don't need to go back technically because they're like one shots, right? There's just an anthology.
Yeah, it's an anthology, so
yeah. So great, cool. Some are going to be better than others, but you know, pretty good one there. Cool. That is all the comics that we read this week, which is a lot, and we got through all of them, which is rare that we don't feel like oh, we have room to stretch. Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for coming on this show and talking about all the comics that came out this week. Thank you to everybody out there who was watching and or listening. Ash1231 Comics, Damon Watson 7405. If you were watching us live, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show or listening to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. No matter where you're at, where you were watching us, listening to us, whatever, like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review, help us out in a way that doesn't cost you anything. Just, help us out, support the show. And if you do want to support us in a way that does cost you something, you could subscribe to any of our tiers at patreon.com/The Keeg Show. There we have a couple subscribers that are getting t-shirts. Keeg t-shirts. If you subscribe for 3 months, I think it just sends you a Keeg t-shirt, which is essentially the money you put in. We don't get anything for like the first 3 months because that technically just goes to your t-shirt. Great. Awesome. I like the fact that like people are going to get t-shirts from it. And then there's a Patreon exclusive episode. One of our drunk episodes is there, and hopefully more drunk episodes to come. That'll be Patreon exclusive. Not for the kids though. I will say that, those episodes are not for the kids. If you want to find us on social media, at The Keeg Show on social media, TikTok and Instagram, two biggest ones, but we're also on like all the other social media, at The Keeg Show /The Keeg Show, wherever you can find The Keeg. But before we get going, Ethan, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Cool. I'm Virgo Blade. You can find me on TikTok, Insta, Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube. Up next, I will be covering the Lanterns TV show that's coming up. I will be doing every episode. What I do, this is my specialty. I know DC, I know Green Lantern, so it'll be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And now I'm blurry, but don't mind me. I was reaching down because I'm having
He's the question.
I'm doing a Lanterns little watch party, and I ordered Green Lantern stickers in the mail.
Oh, nice.
Because Lanterns comes out in on Sunday. But some of these stickers are like really cool, like Tomar Ray. Like, why does Tomar Ray?
He's my favorite.
Sweet.
So it's pretty cool. There's only one Kyle Rayner sticker. There's as many Kyle Rayner stickers as there are a Tomar Ray. So
because Tomar Ray is my favorite alien, but Kyle Rayner is my favorite human. It's Kyle Rayner and then John Stewart.
Yeah.
So that's wild.
Part of me, I want Lanterns as a show to do well because I want Aaron Pierre to go on to train Kyle Rayner and flip the script and have a buddy thing going with him.
Yeah,
that'd just be festive.
Justice for Kyle Rayner.
Yeah.
The torchbearer.
I know. I love Kyle.
Yes. Like Kyle Rayner, Connor Kent. Certain ones I'm very protective over.
We're also, I feel like we're children in the 90s here. Like, I think that's really, it's like, oh, your favorite Green Lantern's Kyle Rayner. I wonder who your favorite Robin is. Like, they go hand in hand. Like, Tim Drake, Kyle Rayner, Young Justice, as you know, R.I.P. Peter David. You did well for so long. Jack, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
You guys can find me at the Film Field on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. And I'll be also talking about lanterns. I'm a hardcore Green Lantern mythos guy, so I will definitely be talking about this show. And it'll be a fun time. I'm curious to see how I'm feeling about this show. I'm very, very curious.
There's the first 5 minutes they released officially online. But I'm not watching the first 5 minutes until Sunday. I'm going to watch the whole episode.
I want to see the whole thing.
Yeah. Also, if it's good, and if I feel like if not only is it good, but like is it like good, like an entry level sort of thing, I might watch it again with my mom, because I do that. Yeah. It's like I screen the superhero stuff first, and I think to myself, would my mom like it? And then I show it to her. So she's a real big Kyle Chandler fan. So
you said Kyle Rayner. I'm like, oh
no. Yeah, would that'd be weird. My mom's just a big Kyle Rayner fan. No, Kyle Chandler, Coach
Friday Night Lights.
Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights. Anyway, moving on past that. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you to Ash1231 Comics and Damon Watson 7405. If you guys want to follow me personally at This Is Dimithri on Instagram. I'm trying to do more content on my own, but like the Keeg show is the main one, you know, and all that. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up. I got some, one-on-one interviews with some professionals coming up. So definitely stay tuned, for some of that. Anyway, that's pretty much it. You can catch Comic Talk every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern here on youtube.com/The Keeg Show. So same time, same place next week. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you to everybody out there for watching and or listening. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been Comic Talk for the week of August 13th, 2026. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Peace out.
Super fast, gotta beat the boss and get the loot, 'cause it's the Keeg.